Alright, so everybody, welcome back to Materwelon's Watermelon Empire, population 216, and today we're going to cover a kind of story where one person's actions are just so thoughtless and inexplicable that I can guarantee you every single person watching this video is gonna end up feeling a little bit better about their life at the end, because regardless of what you're up to in life right now and how you're doing, at the very least you're not as painfully embarrassing as this guy. So who's he and why am I talking about him? This is Paul Dodds, self-made millionaire apparently. What did he do to become a millionaire?
Don't know.
Is there any confirmation that he's actually a millionaire?
Don't know.
Do we know anything about who he is?
Don't know.
So already, we're starting out by establishing that this is some random untrustworthy guy and we essentially don't know who he is. But why is he relevant? Okay, so earlier this year, in June to be exact, this YouTuber I've been watching for a while, Trahan, came up with a really unique concept for the YouTube series. He set out to cross America from west side to east side within a month, only having one penny on him, with the goal to deliver that penny to Mr. Beast, because apparently pennies are going extinct in the United States or something. And during the month of June, while uploading this format, he incentivized his audience to go donate to the Feeding America charity by offering certain rewards that could impact the challenge in real time. So for instance, I think if he donated $50,000, he would give away all the money he had on him and had to basically start over from scratch wherever he was. Or otherwise, I think you could also donate for him to get a tattoo of your choice, or even just like pay for a shout out. He ended up raising over $1 million for the Feeding America charity, which in my opinion is a massive success by all means. But the important thing about this donation fund is actually the supposed top donator, that being Paul Dodds. Now I don't know about you, but with these high profile campaigns like Team C's, the Atozi or H3 lawsuit fund, or even Team 3's, usually you would expect the top donator to be some sort of well-known figure, or at least an established brand like, I don't know, Mark Rober for example, or Honey, or even someone like Jacksepticeye for instance. But here, for the first 15 or so episodes, the top donator ended up being this Paul Dodds person, and it's not even like he's some prominent businessman or corporate head who just doesn't really have a presence online and therefore people didn't know about him. No, this was just overall a guy that was suddenly there one day and no one knew what he actually did to get this kind of money, because there were zero records of his personal history available online. But still, it didn't really matter that nobody had any idea who he was, because ultimately someone donating $150,000 to a good cause is a net positive, right? Well, this is where the problem starts. See, after donating $150,000 to the charity, at some point halfway through the challenge on Trahan's donation leaderboard thingy, which he did show at the end of every video, Paul Dodds' name just randomly disappeared on I think day 17. So people were obviously wondering, you know, what happened? Did he refund his donation, or is this some sort of error? Because you obviously can't just donate $150,000 to charity and then refund it again. Like, not only is that incredibly immoral, but also remember Ryan had rewards for these donations. So imagine he gets a tattoo because you donated to him, and then you're like, psych, I'm just gonna refund my donation, have fun with your tattoo of my face for the rest of your life. Like, obviously that shit wouldn't fly. Once you donated, you should not refund, and like, you should probably not even be able to refund in my opinion. Now Trahan never directly commented on blurring his name, but there are certain hints we can go off here. For instance, at some point Ryan liked this comment saying Paul Dodds' $150,000 of donations disappeared from the leaderboard. I wonder if that means that his donations were fraudulent. I feared that, but either way, don't let that discourage or distract you, Ryan. Keep pushing. Now this comment assumes that Paul Dodds' donations did not go through, and not only did Ryan see this comment, but he also liked it, and if the Paul Dodds donations were in fact real, he would have probably pointed that out to this commenter, but the fact that he did not contest that claim makes me believe that the donations were in fact ineligible. Additionally, in episode 11, Trahan initially included a wholesome part where he FaceTimed Paul Dodds to thank him for his donations, but now this segment has been retroactively removed from the video. Here I'm gonna show you, notice the abrupt cut there.
So we're on the bus, we're gonna go to a mall area to sell these waters. Oh, I'm just in utter shock right now. I don't know. Dude, if Mr. Beast is a villain, Paul Dodds is a hero.
Now he still endorses Paul Dodds at the end of that clip I just showed you, but I do think that can be put down to a simple editing mistake, because this was probably meant to be cut out as well. And also he blurred out his name on every single end card that he was previously on, so it's a pretty safe bet to make that Ryan Trahan initially trusted Paul Dodds, but he then ended up betraying that trust by refunding his donation, and therefore Ryan tried to remove every mention of him from his videos. Now Paul Dodds did briefly try to defend himself, because he did have a Twitter account, and his defense was that he apparently pulled back the donation because of the current exchange rates, and he pledged to instead donate more money later on instead. Now this gives me major Amber Heard vibes. Like, remember when she said she thinks pledging to donate and actually donating are synonymous with each other? Yeah, something tells me Paul Dodds may have subscribed to that mindset. Also, I am not buying your exchange rate excuse. Now if you were from, say, Russia or Ukraine, where the value of the currency there is extremely low currently through circumstances beyond like Paul Dodds' control, I could understand where you're coming from. Because why would you be donating 150k of Ukrainian or Russian money when it's only worth 20k, instead of possibly waiting a few months until the exchange rate has recovered so that 150k would actually be worth around 150k. But this guy is from the UK, where £1 is still worth more than $1, even though the exchange rate dropped by a bit. So this guy has no excuse. And just to be sure, I did wait with this video until some of the dates where he was supposed to pay up passed, and yeah, nothing happened. So in my eyes, I think it's safe to say he refunded and scammed the charity and Ryan Trahan as well. So now we have to ask ourselves, why did he do it and what ended up happening to him? Now people are saying he did this for clout reasons, but like, this guy only has a Twitter account. He doesn't have anything to gain from clout. Now I do know why people were led to believe this. It's cause there were some articles written about the situation stating that Paul Dodds was an upcoming YouTuber himself. But that was just straight up fake news, cause the Paul Dodds YouTube channel has been created by someone else entirely, which can be verified in the comments under his videos. This article is a prime example of horrible journalism anyway, cause of the source that they're using. Now if you are a journalist and you're using the guy that has confessed to faking a massive donation to charity as a source for your article covering somebody who also faked a massive donation to charity, I'm gonna go ahead and completely disregard whatever points you're making in that article, and I'm gonna never take you serious as a journalist again. However, I do think there's a way you could pull this off to get clout, that being if you have a YouTube channel and if you donate 50k early and comment under like every single video, you could probably get a shit ton of subscribers. Then once Ryan finds out you've pulled back your donation, you could rebrand your channel and blacklist whatever name you commented under. But Paul Dodds didn't do anything like that, and he also used his real name probably, so I doubt he had clout-hungry intentions. Now another group of people believe that he did originally donate with good intentions and didn't realize that it would bankrupt him, because maybe he could have had money in crypto or NFTs or whatever, and I kind of agree with this theory to an extent, but I also feel like there's probably more to it. Like, I think most likely what happened is Paul Dodds didn't want to be a creator, but he wanted to be friends with creators, so he impulsively donated 50k to try and get into that whole big creator friend group, but later on realized there's no way he could pay up, and after he became aware of the fact that nobody supports him anymore, he decided to run. At least that's my personal interpretations of the events that unfolded, because it would be the most logical conclusion from my point of view. Now following all this, he did end up deleting his Twitter account and he has not returned since. In fact, it's been completely quiet around him, although some people are still actively commenting under the fake Paul Dodds channel's videos to this day. By now he should have donated, I think, above 750k, but he's currently at $0 donated. So yeah, not looking good. I don't have any faith in him anymore. And finally, I wanna briefly touch on two things real quick. One, some people are saying Ryan should have addressed this, and I have to disagree. This was supposed to be a wholesome series without drama, and addressing things would have certainly led to drama, and it would have given him the attention which he did not deserve, which would have also in the process showed to other people that, hey, if I fake a huge donation to Ryan Trahan and his fans are going to give me attention, which could then possibly inspire copycat. Also, there have been some screenshots going around claiming Paul Dodds scammed Ryan Trahan's fans for their nudes, and the problem here is that it's just not even remotely verifiable, because this shit could so easily be faked. And now if this is real, then the person needs to come forward by showing who they are and showing their face in order to verify their identity, and showing the full chat logs and how they even began talking to this Paul Dodds person is also instrumental to making this credible, because otherwise this claim is just completely not verifiable, unfortunately. So there you have it, folks, the story of Paul Dodds, somebody who will probably always be remembered as a scumbag, and we have to ask ourselves, is being remembered as scum better than not being remembered at all? Well, Paul Dodds is gonna have plenty of time trying to figure that one out if he ever returns to the internet again, and until then, this has been Materwelon, and I hope you enjoyed this video.